Well, today's episode of Man at Arms Reforged, we wanted to do something a little different. Instead of our traditional builds on camera, we wanted to show you a little something about how Baltimore Knife and Sword operates day to day. We'll be going over some of our forging, our grinding of some of our more popular products like a hand and a half, a small slasher, and even a falcata. Basically, we'll be showing you some of the steps that make them unique Baltimore Knife and Sword products.
I'm Kerry Stagmer, and we are the Blacksmiths of Baltimore Knife and Sword. We're going to be building some of your favorite things and fantastic objects you've never seen before. This is Man at Arms Reforged.
It's a piece of 3/4 by 3/4 mild steel, what we use to do the horse head pommels on our falcatas, a regular production item we have here. We sell a lot of these, so I make a lot of these. Our good pal Sam showed Ilya how to do this, and Ilya showed me how to do this, and I'm going to show you how I do this. So we'll get started.
Kevin begins this forging by preforming the shape of the horse head. He's going to get this general form laid in before he does any of the punch work. Steps in to hold the material while Kevin begins cutting the ears and eyes. This way it allows him to not only do the one side but be able to flip it over while he's still got a chisel and a hammer in his hands. A quick chill to the back of the head will keep everything in shape as he begins to cut the mouth. Takes the entire piece back to the heat, then Tanner will hold it for him while he cuts in the mane.
This is one of our BKS Falcata blades. Now, we have our blades laser cut. This is for all of our production swords. Then we go through, mill the fullers in if they need it, and sometimes even chisel them to add a little bit of extra to it. Then we harden them. After we're done with all that, I have to go in, rough the blades to shape from start to finish.
Bill begins the grinding with a 36 grit on one of our big Bader sanders. This is going to allow him to blend that edge in. He'll get the entire piece ground before he does the flat surfaces. We'll do the flats, then we'll go to polish. The whole time the thing has to stay cool. Skull pommels have been some of the most popular things that we add on our swords. These pieces are made in wax initially, cast in bronze, polish them up whenever we need them. So this will get polished just before it gets attached to the sword.
This is our BKS small slasher blade. We actually make these in much larger sizes. Matt came up with the design a few years ago, and it's actually become quite popular. I make quite a lot of these during the year. We're going to go through, we're going to rough an edge on it. This also gets a false edge, and then we're going to go through and scallop these two sections here to make it look a little bit serrated.
Over the years, this fantasy form has been incredibly popular. It used to be that the largest versions of it, where we make 28-inch blades or 32-inch blades, were the most popular. But we find that the 19-inch blade now is really the most popular version of this, and we make an incredible number of them each year.
So I'm going to show you how we do our standard fluted pommel for our 1.5 hand sword. I'm going to use this Bader knife wheel grinder. We're going to do a slow rotating motion as we feed into the wheel to follow these black lines I've marked out ahead of time. We're going to do 8 of these all the way around the pommel.
This narrow knife wheel is actually something that's fairly traditional, although it wouldn't have been run with a belt, it would have been a hard wheel in the past. It's the same basic concept we do if you were, say, going to be cutting glass. A cut glass vase would be cut the same way, only there'd be some water on the wheel at the same time to keep the glass from breaking. We do an incredible amount of ornamentation this way, in all different forms. I'm going to be doing the rough grinding on what is really one of our very most popular swords, which is our 1.5 hand. This is a 32-inch blade. We make them in 32, 36, 38, 35, kind of anything up in that range. Sometimes we're working when the piece is soft. It's actually easier to grind things when they're hard. This has already been hardened. This is not a forged blade, or it would have had a pre-grind. This is actually laser cut to shape from like big huge sheets. We make hundreds at a time. I do have to keep it cool so that it doesn't anneal the piece and it'll lose its temper then. I hope you've enjoyed seeing some of the more standard things we make here at Baltimore Knife and Sword. We'll continue to make these crazy forged pieces for man-at-arms, but we wanted you to see what we're making every single day, all year long. Click here to subscribe, or click here to see more episodes. Thanks for watching Man-at-Arms Reforged. We need to know what you want the team to build. Tell us in the comments below what you would like to see.